In a small town in the United States, life carried on peacefully, and Jamal, a black teenager known for his kindness and determination, was a beloved figure in his community. Jamal was a dedicated student, always striving for good grades and dreaming of a bright future. On weekends, he loved playing basketball with his friends at the local park, where he was respected not only for his skills but also for his exemplary character. He often helped neighbors with various tasks, earning the affection and respect of those around him. One sunny Saturday afternoon, Jamal decided to visit the local convenience store to buy some essential items. He was in high spirits, still laughing at the jokes his friends had made on the basketball court. As he approached the store, he reminisced about the times he had visited the store with his father as a child. It was a small store, but it always had the items he liked. However, his cheerful mood was abruptly shattered when he encountered the store's security guard at the entrance. The guard, a large and stern-looking man whom Jamal had never seen before, blocked his way with a firm arm and a severe expression. "Sorry, but you can't come in," the guard said, his voice resonating with an unsettling firmness. Jamal frowned, confused. "But I just want to buy a few things," he responded, trying to understand the reason for the refusal. His eyes scanned the store, seeking familiarity, but everything seemed distant and inaccessible. Without flinching, the guard replied coldly, "You can't come in. Leave." The tone of his voice left no room for questions. Jamal felt a wave of humiliation and injustice wash over him. He had never been treated like this before. He looked around, seeing some people watching the scene with curiosity, but no one intervened. With no other options, he turned and walked away, feeling the cold gaze of the guard on his back. Each step he took felt heavier than the last. Back at home, Jamal couldn't stop thinking about the incident. The humiliation burned in his mind. He sat at the kitchen table, staring into space, feeling a knot in his stomach. When his parents arrived, they immediately noticed that something was wrong. "Jamal, what happened?" his mother asked, her face full of concern. Jamal recounted the incident, each word filled with pain and confusion. He explained how the guard had blocked him, how he felt small and disrespected. His parents listened attentively, their faces growing more serious with each detail. "This isn't right, son. We need to do something," his father said, his expression serious and concerned. "No one has the right to treat you like this. You can turn this situation into something positive," his mother added, her tone encouraging. "Show them who you really are." Jamal reflected on his parents' words. He knew this was an opportunity to make a difference, not just for himself, but for everyone who might face a similar situation. Throughout the night, he stayed awake, planning and imagining how he could respond to the discrimination he had suffered. He wanted to do something that would not only make him feel better, but also make a significant impact on the community. Determined not to let discrimination prevail, he began to plan a response that would shock everyone. He knew he needed to do something big, something that would showcase his dignity and the injustice he had faced. With a heart full of determination and a mind full of ideas, Jamal began to outline his plan. The next morning, Jamal woke up early, feeling a renewed sense of purpose. The memory of the previous day still lingered, but instead of allowing it to dampen his spirits, he used it as fuel. Sitting at his desk, he pulled out a notebook and began jotting down ideas. He wanted to do something that would not only make a statement, but also inspire others in his community. Jamal decided that the best way to address the situation was to highlight the positive contributions of black individuals in the community. He wanted to showcase the diversity, talent and strength that often went unnoticed. He planned to organize an event that would celebrate Black culture and achievements, something that would be impossible to ignore. He knew he couldn't do it alone, so he reached out to his friends and family for support. He called his best friend, Marcus, who was immediately on board. Together, they brainstormed ideas and made a list of people who could help. "We need to involve as many people as possible," Marcus said, enthusiasm evident in his voice. "Let's reach out to local artists, musicians, and speakers." Jamal agreed. He contacted local community leaders, teachers, and business owners, explaining his vision and asking for their support. To his delight, many were eager to help. They saw the value in what he was trying to do and wanted to be part of it. As the plans began to take shape, Jamal and Marcus worked tirelessly to organize the event. They decided to call it Unity in Diversity, a celebration that would feature performances, speeches, and an exhibition showcasing the achievements of Black community members. They secured a venue at the community center, which could accommodate a large number of attendees. Next, they focused on logistics. They created flyers and posters, spreading the word about the event through social media and word of mouth. Jamal's mother helped prepare a list of vendors who could provide food and refreshments, while his father offered to handle security and ensure everything ran smoothly. One evening, as they were finalizing details, Jamal's mother brought in a tray of snacks and sat down with them. "I'm so proud of you, Jamal," she said, her eyes shining with pride. "You're turning a negative experience into something that will uplift the whole community." Jamal smiled, feeling a sense of accomplishment. "Thanks, Mom. I just want everyone to know that we deserve respect and recognition." The days leading up to the event were hectic. Jamal and his team worked late into the night, coordinating with performers, setting up the venue, and making sure everything was perfect. The support they received was overwhelming. People from all walks of life offered their time and resources, eager to contribute to the cause. On the eve of the event, Jamal stood in the empty community center, looking at the stage they had set up. Banners with the words "Unity in Diversity" hung above, and the room was filled with chairs and tables, ready to welcome guests. He felt a mixture of nerves and excitement, knowing that everything they had worked for was about to come to fruition. "This is it," Marcus said, standing beside him. "Tomorrow, we'll show everyone what we're capable of." Jamal nodded, his determination unwavering. "Let's make it a day to remember." As they left the community center, Jamal couldn't help but feel a sense of anticipation. The next day would be the culmination of all their hard work, a chance to make a powerful statement against discrimination and for unity. He knew that whatever happened, they had already succeeded in bringing the community together and creating something meaningful. The morning of the event dawned bright and clear, with a crispness in the air that felt invigorating. Jamal woke up with a mixture of excitement and nerves. Today was the day they had all been working towards, and he was determined to make it a success. After a quick breakfast, Jamal headed to the community center with Marcus. They arrived early to ensure everything was in place. As they stepped inside, they were greeted by a flurry of activity. Volunteers were setting up tables, arranging chairs, and hanging decorations. The atmosphere was electric with anticipation. The main hall of the community center looked vibrant and welcoming. Colorful banners and posters celebrating Black culture adorned the walls. A stage had been set up at one end of the room, with a microphone and speakers ready for the performances and speeches. Tables were covered with displays showcasing the achievements of local Black artists, entrepreneurs, and community leaders. Jamal and Marcus made their way around the room, checking in with the volunteers and making sure everything was running smoothly. They could feel the energy and excitement building as more people began to arrive. At noon, the doors opened to the public, and people started streaming in. Families, friends, and community members of all ages came to show their support. Jamal was thrilled to see such a diverse crowd, all gathered to celebrate unity and diversity. The event kicked off with a powerful spoken-word performance by a local poet, who shared a moving piece about resilience and strength in the face of adversity. The audience was captivated, hanging on every word. Next, a local dance troupe took the stage, performing a vibrant and energetic routine that had everyone clapping and cheering. The joy and enthusiasm were infectious, and Jamal could see smiles spreading throughout the crowd. Throughout the day, there were musical performances, inspirational speeches, and even a fashion show featuring designs by Black designers from the community. Each segment was met with applause and appreciation, and Jamal could feel the positive energy filling the room. One of the highlights of the event was a panel discussion featuring successful Black entrepreneurs and community leaders. They shared their experiences, challenges, and successes, offering valuable insights and encouragement to the audience. Jamal was particularly moved by their stories of perseverance and determination. As the afternoon wore on, people mingled, chatted, and enjoyed the food and refreshments provided by local vendors. There was a sense of camaraderie and connection in the air, as people from different backgrounds and walks of life came together to celebrate and support each other. Jamal's parents were there, beaming with pride as they watched their son take the stage to deliver his speech. He spoke from the heart, sharing his experience at the store and the motivation behind organizing the event. He emphasized the importance of unity, respect, and standing up against discrimination. "We are all part of this community," Jamal said, his voice strong and clear. "And today, we are showing that when we come together, we are unstoppable. Let's continue to support each other, celebrate our diversity, and work towards a future where everyone is treated with the respect and dignity they deserve." The audience erupted into applause, and Jamal felt a surge of emotion. He looked out at the sea of faces, seeing the support and solidarity reflected back at him. In that moment, he knew that they had achieved something special. As the event drew to a close, people lingered, reluctant to leave. They thanked Jamal and his team for organizing such a meaningful and inspiring event. Jamal felt a deep sense of gratitude for everyone who had contributed and participated. That evening, as they packed up and prepared to leave, Marcus turned to Jamal with a wide grin. "We did it, man. We really did it." Jamal nodded, feeling a profound sense of accomplishment. "Yeah, we did. And this is just the beginning." Walking out of the community center, Jamal felt a renewed sense of hope and determination. He knew that there would be more challenges ahead, but he also knew that together, they could overcome anything. Today had shown him the power of community, unity, and the importance of standing up for what is right. The day after the event, Jamal's phone buzzed with notifications. News of the event had spread quickly, thanks in part to social media. Photos and videos from the day were being shared widely, and messages of support and praise were pouring in from all corners of the community. Jamal was thrilled to see how many people had been touched by what they had achieved. Meanwhile, the owner of the store where Jamal had been refused entry couldn't ignore the growing public reaction. The event had drawn significant attention to the incident, and people were starting to question the store's practices. Negative reviews and comments began appearing online, criticizing the store for its discriminatory behavior. The backlash was swift and intense, as more and more people vowed to take their business elsewhere. Realizing the gravity of the situation, the store owner decided to reach out to Jamal. One afternoon, Jamal received a call from an unfamiliar number. Hesitant at first, he answered, only to hear the owner's voice on the other end. "Hello, Jamal. This is Mr. Thompson from the store. I wanted to apologize for what happened the other day," Mr. Thompson began, his tone contrite. Jamal was taken aback, but listened quietly as Mr. Thompson continued. "I've been reflecting on what happened and the impact it had on you and the community. I want to make things right. I would like to invite you to the store to discuss how we can improve our practices and ensure something like this never happens again." After a moment's thought, Jamal agreed. He saw this as an opportunity not just for himself, but for the broader community. The next day, he met Mr. Thompson at the store. They sat down in the back office, where Mr. Thompson expressed his sincere regret for the way Jamal had been treated. "I realize that we need to make changes," Mr. Thompson said. "I want to start by offering you a formal apology and asking for your help in creating a more inclusive and welcoming environment here." Jamal appreciated the gesture, but knew words alone wouldn't be enough. "I accept your apology, Mr. Thompson, but actions speak louder than words. I think the first step should be proper training for your staff on diversity and inclusion. People need to understand why what happened was wrong and how to treat everyone with respect." Mr. Thompson nodded. "Agreed. We'll also host community forums to hear more from our customers and ensure we're meeting their needs. I'd like you to be a part of that process, if you're willing." Jamal agreed, seeing this as a chance to effect real change. They discussed plans for staff training sessions, community meetings, and partnerships with local organizations to promote diversity and inclusion. In the following weeks, the store began implementing these changes. They hired a diversity consultant to lead the training sessions, and Jamal was invited to share his experiences with the staff. It was an emotional process, but he felt a sense of purpose knowing that his story was helping to foster understanding and empathy. The store also held a series of community forums where customers could voice their concerns and offer suggestions for improvement. Jamal attended these meetings, listening to the stories of others who had faced discrimination and working with the store to develop new policies that promoted inclusivity. Slowly but surely, the atmosphere at the store began to change. The staff became more attentive and respectful, and customers noticed the difference. The community forums fostered a sense of unity and collaboration, and the store regained the trust of its customers. Jamal's efforts did not go unnoticed. Local media picked up the story, highlighting the positive changes that had come about as a result of the initial incident and Jamal's response to it. The narrative shifted from one of discrimination to one of redemption and growth, showcasing how a community could come together to create meaningful change. As Jamal walked through the store one day, he couldn't help but feel proud of what they had accomplished. The store was now a symbol of resilience and progress, a testament to the power of standing up against injustice and working towards a better future. In the end, Jamal's experience had a profound impact on the community. It not only led to tangible changes at the store, but also inspired others to speak out against discrimination and advocate for equality. Jamal had turned a painful experience into a catalyst for positive change, proving that one person's courage and determination could make a difference. As the store continued to transform, news of the changes spread beyond the local community. The story of Jamal's perseverance and the store's commitment to making amends caught the attention of local news outlets. Journalists wanted to know more about the young man who had turned an act of discrimination into an opportunity for positive change. One afternoon, Jamal received a call from a reporter at a well-known newspaper. "Hi, Jamal. This is Lisa Martinez from the Daily Tribune. We've been following your story and the remarkable changes happening at the store. We'd love to do an interview with you. Would you be interested?" Jamal hesitated for a moment. He wasn't used to being in the spotlight, but he knew that sharing his story could inspire others. "Sure, Ms. Martinez. I'd be happy to talk." The following day, Lisa and her team arrived at Jamal's house. They set up their equipment and prepared for the interview. As the cameras rolled, Jamal recounted the incident at the store, the decision to protest, and the changes that followed. He spoke with passion about the importance of standing up against discrimination and the power of community action. Lisa was deeply moved by Jamal's story. "You've shown incredible strength and leadership, Jamal. What do you hope others take away from your experience?" Jamal thought for a moment before responding. "I hope people see that change is possible when we stand up for what's right. It's not easy, and it takes courage, but every voice matters. We can all make a difference in our communities." The interview aired that evening, and Jamal's story quickly gained traction. Social media buzzed with reactions, and people from all over the city and beyond began to share their own experiences with discrimination and how they had fought back. Jamal was flooded with messages of support and gratitude. Many thanked him for his bravery, while others shared how his actions had inspired them to take a stand in their own lives. In the days that followed, the story was picked up by national media outlets. Jamal found himself giving interviews on television, radio, and online platforms. Each time, he emphasized the same message: the importance of equality, the power of community, and the need for continuous effort in the fight against discrimination. The broader impact of Jamal's story was profound. Other businesses started to examine their own practices, with many implementing diversity and inclusion training for their employees. Community leaders began organizing forums to address issues of discrimination and promote understanding among different groups. One day, Jamal received an unexpected invitation. The mayor of the city wanted to meet him to discuss how they could work together to promote inclusivity throughout the community. Jamal was both honored and nervous, but he accepted the invitation. In the mayor's office, Jamal was greeted warmly. "Jamal, your story has touched so many people. We need more leaders like you. I'd like to work with you to create a citywide initiative to combat discrimination and promote diversity." Jamal felt a swell of pride and responsibility. "Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd be honored to help in any way I can." Together, they developed the United We Stand initiative, which aimed to foster a more inclusive and equitable community. The initiative included educational programs, community events, and support services for those affected by discrimination. The first event under the initiative was a community rally held at the city park. Hundreds of people gathered to show their support for diversity and equality. Jamal stood on the stage, looking out at the diverse crowd, and felt a deep sense of fulfillment. He had started this journey alone, but now he was part of a movement that was bigger than himself. As he took the microphone, Jamal's voice rang out with confidence and hope. "Thank you all for being here today. Together, we can build a community where everyone is valued and respected. This is just the beginning, and I know that if we continue to stand together, we can make a lasting impact." The crowd erupted in applause, and Jamal knew that his message had been heard. The story of the black teen who was refused entry at a store had evolved into a powerful movement for change, one that would continue to inspire and transform communities for years to come. Jamal's journey from that fateful day when he was refused entry at the store to becoming a symbol of hope and change was a testament to the power of resilience, community, and activism. The changes he helped to initiate at the store were just the beginning of a broader movement that swept through the city and beyond. In the months following the launch of the United We Stand initiative, Jamal continued to work closely with the mayor and other community leaders. They organized workshops in schools to educate young people about the importance of diversity and inclusion, held community discussions to address local issues of discrimination, and created support networks for those affected by prejudice. The store where it all began became a model of inclusivity and fairness. The owner, Mr. Anderson, fully embraced the changes and worked tirelessly to ensure that his store was welcoming to everyone. The success of these efforts led to increased business, and the store flourished as a positive example in the community. Jamal's impact extended beyond his local community. He was invited to speak at conferences and events across the country, sharing his story and advocating for social justice. His message resonated with many, inspiring similar movements in other cities. Organizations began to adopt the strategies that Jamal had pioneered, leading to widespread changes in business practices and community relations. Despite his growing fame, Jamal remained grounded and focused on his education. He continued to excel in school, determined to use his knowledge and experience to further the cause of justice. His teachers and peers admired his dedication and often sought his advice on matters of inclusivity and community engagement. 1 year after the initial incident, the city held a special ceremony to honor Jamal's contributions. The event was attended by community members, local leaders, and representatives from various organizations. The mayor presented Jamal with a plaque recognizing his efforts to promote equality and justice. In his acceptance speech, Jamal reflected on the journey that had brought him to this moment. "A year ago, I faced an act of discrimination that could have left me feeling powerless and defeated. But with the support of my community and a determination to make a difference, we turned a negative experience into a force for positive change. This plaque is not just for me. It's for everyone who stood with me, believed in me, and fought for what's right. Together, we've shown that we can make a difference, and our work is far from over." The audience erupted in applause, and Jamal felt a deep sense of pride and fulfillment. He knew that the fight for equality and justice would continue, but he was confident that the foundations they had built would support ongoing efforts for change. As the event concluded, Jamal stood with his family and friends, who had been his unwavering support throughout his journey. His parents beamed with pride, and his friends clapped him on the back, sharing in the joy of his achievements. In the years that followed, Jamal continued to be a powerful advocate for social justice. He pursued a degree in social work and law, aiming to combine his passion for justice with a deep understanding of the legal system. His ultimate goal was to create systemic changes that would prevent discrimination and promote equality for all. Jamal's story became a part of the city's legacy, a reminder of what can be achieved when one person stands up against injustice and others rally to support them. His journey was a beacon of hope and a call to action for future generations. The community he helped to transform remained committed to the values he championed. Schools, businesses, and local governments continued to prioritize inclusivity and fairness, ensuring that the progress they had made would endure. Jamal's actions had sparked a movement that transcended the initial act of discrimination. It became a story of resilience, community, and the enduring power of standing up for what is right. His legacy was a testament to the fact that one person, supported by a united community, can indeed make a profound difference. As he looked back on his journey, Jamal felt grateful for the challenges he had faced and the people who had supported him. He knew that the fight for justice was ongoing, but he was ready to continue that fight, armed with the knowledge that together they could create a more just and inclusive world. And so, the black teen who had once been refused entry at a store became a symbol of hope, change, and the power of standing up for what is right. His story continued to inspire, proving that even in the face of adversity, one person can make a lasting impact on the world.